Hola, hola, hello everybody. I am back again. Today, this video is going to be quick. I am going to discuss where should you work. Would you work in your home, a salon suite, rent a chair from another salon? Where should you work? The pros and the cons. So, as you see, or you may be able to see, I am in my own suite, and we're gonna make this quick because I got clients today. So you can take the order that I put these options in as like listed in a way that you can, progress. Think about it that way. Say you are a beginner stylist, you don't know where you want to work. You can start off working from home. You can. You, of course, want to make sure all of these categories, you have your license, your independent, I think it's your independent contractor's license. Yeah. You want to make sure you're up on your necessary license that is required by the state and the Board of Cosmetology in your state. It is different. So when you're a natural stylist, I believe in certain states you are able to have more leeway. You're able to have more leeway than a cosmetologist because you're not required to go. Oh, well, some states you are required. Anyways, go look it up for your state and make sure you are able to do the services that you plan to offer. If you're just braiding, and it's under the scope of natural hair, you're not cutting using chemicals, you are able to have a little bit more leeway when working at home. Now, from my understanding, I believe so. Yeah, because if you had your cosmetology license and you were trying to dye hair in your house, either way, you would still want to make sure your environment that you're working in is up to code, is up to the scope of your practice. Do you have a sink? Do you have a proper way to sanitize your utensils? Your tools? Do you have a proper way to dispose of your dirty towels, your dirty aprons and smocks and things like that? So in all environments, you want to make sure you are sanitary. So if you're working at home, don't let nobody discredit you and say this is ratchet, this is not high-end. You can make your home how you need to design it to make it suit your guests and make you a reputable stylist working from home. I do believe some states, I know here, you would have to have a separate entrance and bathroom from your personal home so that your clients couldn't just walk in to your front door, I believe. So people do turn their garages, turn their sheds, turn their, have a small house in the backyard, whatever, however it can work. When you work from home, you don't have to pay anybody. That's the big point. Keep that money as long as you can. Bottom line, period. Especially if you're starting off. If you're starting off, you need time to learn. You need time to focus on the craft. You need time to just save that money, bottom line. So when you have an opportunity to keep your money, keep it. I started off doing hair in my family's house. There was a separate room, and I was lucky enough to not have to pay anybody. I did, just out of consideration, share some of my, I did pay. But when you work at home, it is great to keep that money. The con Your clients know where you live. Some people don't respect boundaries. That is a fact. You may get some clients that you wish you never allowed them to enter into your home. It is your private space. So there's that. I am not in a place in my career where I can compromise that. I have too many clients and working and not having that separation of me leaving the house and this is my private space and then going into work. I would need the separation. I would need the separation. But starting off, I think it's great. And even if you're an advanced stylist, working from home, if you can make it work and you save your money, kudos to you. I have seen nail artists, I have seen barbers, I have seen so many beauty service providers work from home and turn their whole situation into a full salon. And it looks immaculate. So don't discredit people telling you you should not work from home. Just make it what it needs to do. All right, so then say you start off from home and then you move on to a salon. You have two different salons. You have like the kind of like corporate, you get paid hourly. In those situations, you do not rent. Yeah, you don't rent if you go and work at like a Supercuts or somewhere where it's a full salon, it's a franchise. They give you hourly pay and commission and you keep your tips. This one right here, I don't recommend you guys. Okay, so wait. I do recommend when you are starting out and you need to build clientele and you don't want to focus on having to acquire your clients. Like, you don't want to do the legwork. You know, that salon is going to do it for you. Sorry, I'm just got the big window here, so I'm like watching people walk past. So yes, a franchise salon, I think that's like more the term, like a corporate structure salon, is a good place to acquire clients. Now, when it comes down to pay, you are working and doing these services with an hourly rate. I don't know what the hourly rates are currently, but I would imagine that the services you're doing could price higher than what you probably are making an hour. Now, it's a give or take, because wherever you are in your career, this can be perfect for you. You may only want to work part-time and you don't want to be responsible for doing legwork. You just want to be a stylist, and you know, you might even go into a place that is a franchise salon and they have a lot of customers. So you know, you getting the hourly rate plus commission, and that's whatever percentage they're gonna split with you and the salon, and you're getting tips. That might actually, when you do the math, you might see about 8 clients in a day, depending on your services, and you may not be able to do that on your own because you had to go and do more legwork to find those clients. So all I'm saying is, it can work. It can work. Now, my personal perspective, I'm further along in my career, so I have a lot of clients. I would not be able to accept an hourly rate for the services that I provide, because I am at a place where I am a specialist. I specialize in micro locks and locks. So if I were to get paid, let's just say $12 an hour, and my services last anywhere from 3 to 4 hours, no, that would not work. that would not work. And I've worked in a day spa, and I've watched the estheticians who work there get so frustrated and so burnt out because they realize the services that they are providing don't equal their hourly rate, and it doesn't feel good when you're seeing your check maybe every 2 weeks, every week, depending on how they pay you out. And you start doing the math, like, oh, you're doing $100 plus services when you look at the market, but you're only getting paid hourly. So there's that option. But you don't have to worry about paying nobody. You don't have to worry about paying rent. So I'll let you guys decide on that one. Then we have the salon suite. Again, so if you work from home and then you went to work in a franchise, now you got some clients. Now you're moving on and you decide you want to rent a booth out of a more traditional salon. Here is when you typically pay a weekly rate. It ranges, you know, $125 to $175 to, you know, maybe a more high-end salon, booth rent, chair rental. It might be like $250 a week. It might be, so it just varies. You have to find a salon that fits you and your clients. I remember when I first moved to Texas and I was shopping around salons and I was going in places, and I remember going into this all white salon, and I just wanted to be, I was curious, I was looking for a place to work, and it was clear that me being a loctician, my clients, and it has nothing to do with race, but it's the vibe, it's the, is this gonna make sense for me and my clients, the environment I like to create, and does that salon also match that or get close? Because you have to think about your full experience as a service provider adds to your money. They're gonna pay your rate, but are you getting tipped? Are they enjoying the place? Are they enjoying that space? Is it a bunch of gossip? Is it awkward? Is it fun? Is it, you know, is it luxury? Is it kind of, you know? So I remember just going into different salons and really realizing some of them were a little too bougie for me. Some of them were, I couldn't see myself being received well. And then I found a great salon where this lady was nice and welcoming, and she had about 10 chairs, and there was 4 stylists working already. Some people already did locks. Some people did other services, and I paid a weekly rate. You know what? No, I actually, when I first moved, I paid a daily rate because I knew it was gonna be slow for me when I first moved to Texas because I didn't have anybody. And so we negotiated on paying a daily rate because I knew I could be only coming to work maybe 2 or 3 times out of the week because I really didn't have anybody at that time. I was starting all the way over. And so that worked for a minute, but then we went to weekly. Same thing for California. $125 at that time was pretty average for like traditional mom and pop, not even mom and pop, just like the homey traditional salons. And then you have you're moving up, maybe they're giving you wine and it's a little bit more luxury, a little bit more, you know, it's like $175, you know, depending on the area. The only time I really got to a salon that was like $2 something a week, that was actually in Texas. I mean, it was a really nice salon though. It was like by the Galleria. So anyways, when you're thinking about renting a chair out of a salon, you want to do the homework. Maybe go there and get your hair done, and talk to the people. Be in that space as much as you can before you decide, because You don't want to chair hop. You want to avoid it as much as possible. But when you're in something, that's when you really know it. You know if you're going to mesh with these people. You know if this is going to work for you. When you're in a salon, you do have different responsibilities. You may share responsibilities of cleaning, sweeping, a kitchen, greeting clients that are not yours. You still want to welcome people into the salon, being hospitable. Are you introverted or extroverted? You want to make sure that being in a public setting like a salon, traditional salon where there's more stylists, that's going to work for you. There is more personalities, and I personally didn't want to work in a salon where I was one of 10 stylists. I rather keep it six and under, really. Like, that's even a lot of people to be doing a service, and then like some people double book. It can be a lot. It can be overwhelming, and then on the other end, it can be a place where people thrive. So you want to think about the personality type that you are and what you want to provide for your clients when you are thinking about renting a chair out of a salon. What else do I have? And when you find a good rate, renting out of a salon could be financially better than my next option, a salon suite. But in my case, I found a salon suite that was the same amount as me paying my weekly booth rent at the last salon that I just left. Thinking that was my client coming early. So now you think about if you want to elevate, maybe you want to specialize in something and you don't want to work in a salon where you kind of have to keep a momentum going, especially if you're taking walk-ins into a salon. You're taking people who are just coming off the street. You want to make sure you're getting your people in and out. In my opinion, back to a salon, I didn't really care for that environment because I didn't feel that I can customize my experience. I searched high and low for the chair that I have. Because I wanted to customize the experience for my clients. I wanted them to relax more. I wanted it to feel like you're walking into a very serene environment, and it's quiet, and it's just more intimate. And at a salon, there's so many unknown factors, and I wanted to have more control. So that's why I like being by myself. That's why I chose to move into a suite. So anyways, now you find a suite, right? And you want to make sure, again, all these places that you're going to fit you and the brand and the experience you want to bring to your clients. That's number one. So you find a salon suite, the rate is low. You want to try to keep it low, but there's also the two options when it comes to renting a salon suite. You have the Phoenix salons, the Sola salons, the luxury kind of franchise commercial salon suites. Those are expensive. I don't care what people say. Those are expensive. They can be anywhere from, I've only seen them as $2 something a week. And that was me living in Oregon, California, and Texas. They were all 200 and something a week. That might be fine, and it is fine for some stylists because people work there. I wasn't ready. I'm still not ready for 2 something. I remember a salon actually quoted me $250 a week to rent. And I just wasn't ready for that. I just wasn't ready. So anyways, you want to find a salon suite that makes sense for your clients and your budget. There are some suites that are pretty high, People are going to office spaces, people are going to non-traditional spaces that they feel they can do hair in. Just find somewhere that makes sense. You know, I'm not gonna judge, but you just wanna find something that makes sense for you and your brand. I didn't wanna be in an office building because I guess a traditional office building. But anyways, staying on point. Find what makes sense for you. So you find a salon suite, just say it might be a monthly rate of $600. That's in Oregon. You can find that. Other places, you might not be able to find that. That might be unheard of because I know some ladies are paying like $1,000. That's a lot. That's a lot to go to work. You have to think you're paying to go to work. How's parking? Do you have to pay to park? Like the last suite I had to pay. I didn't have to pay to park, but my clients would have to pay to park. Like it was just, you have to think about all these things. So you're in a salon suite, you're by yourself now, or you might have a suite and it might be you and another stylist. So a lot of people want to talk about the lack of community, the lack of, I guess, community being in a salon suite. There's that. There is that. You are by yourself. You are just you and your client. I do miss that from being in a salon where it seems like everybody is laughing and joking and my clients are enjoying my the other stylist conversations. Everybody's just talking and it's a place and it's thriving and it's a salon. Being here, it's me and my clients peeking, and if there's some clients where they're like that awkward kind of silence, we just gotta let the silence ride. But when it comes down to finance, me having a salon suite by myself was better. Now, I paid for this equipment. You might want to go to a franchise because they have all the equipment already. They have a chair, they have a sink, they have a laundry room, they have large trash. They have probably people who come around and clean the inside of your suite. I don't know, but all of those luxuries factor into what you want to pay for. I paid for all of my equipment in here. Quick little zoom. I got my chair, I got my salon, and it's my bowl, and it's still coming together. I did my floors. So there's factors that you have to consider when you are going fully independent. When you're going fully independent and you're by yourself, and now you have to really invest in your career and the business. So you got your salon, your traditional salons, your corporate structure where you're getting paid hourly. You have your salon suites, the two options with that, corporate or finding your own, and then you have working from home. So with all those options, the common theme is finding a place that fits you and fits what you are willing to pay. All these options, don't let people tell you what's best. You figure out for yourself. I worked in all of those options besides the hourly rate. There isn't one that's better than the other. It's all about what you prefer. It truly is what you prefer, because working from home might be financially better and you are an advanced top stylist and you work from home. And truthfully, I think all of us wish that we did, because we could keep that money. So consider all these factors when you are thinking about going into a salon, going into renting your own suite, going into these corporate structures that are they're going to pay you hourly plus commission, and I'm sure you get to keep your tips. I would hope so. So leave some comments below. Where do you see yourself working at? Do you want to move around? Do you want to, I forgot to mention, you can literally just rent. You can temporarily just do pop-ups. I forgot people do pop-ups. There's some stylists that are not full-time and they just rent a chair out of someone's salon, and they might be there for a month. They might be there for 2 weeks. There's just so much flexibility when you are working for yourself. You just want to make sure you have your license up to date. Don't work in nobody's salon and your license is expired or you don't have one. The haters gonna clock you, okay? Trust me. And so consider all these factors. Leave a comment below. Tell me where you like to work. Tell me what's best. What are y'all paying in these different states? Like, I worked in Oregon, California, and Texas, and it was all, I can't say it was all different because like it was like $125 a week, $150 a week across the board. But I know things are changing now, so it's like, what's average? Like, what's the going rate to rent a chair out of a salon now? Leave the comments below. Let me hear it. I love giving you guys some advice on places to work and ways to grow your career. I'm just doing this fully unedited, as you can see, and this is going up just like this. So just, give me a little feedback. What y'all want to hear next? What do y'all want to know about? How can we be better in the service industry? How can we be better service beauty providers? How can I help you and assist you along your career? All right. Toodaloo.